So Jackie, can you go back to what you were going to say? Today is Wednesday, August 3rd, 2016. It's 10:07 p.m. Just for the record, you know? Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Kevin. Yeah, what I said, it's we are building this Keshe Foundation translation. It will be a bridge between the translator and the people who want really fast translation, and the final product on the Keshe Foundation official YouTube channel. And why we try to put this in one place, it's because we have seen and we understand that it's a lot of people doing the same work on the translation. And we try to don't lose energy with people making the same thing in different places, or to coordinate the best format that we don't lose our energy in doing things that we can do one time at the best way, you know?
Because we can do things more efficiently, especially, and more focused and more stronger in a way, because we don't, you know, waste energy on one thing with different methods and you know, it takes a lot of energy. You know, you have to take the time, the space. You got to think. You got to, you know, coordinate. So let's, in this way, because this is the advantage of sort of a centralized communication. We communicate. We have to network and communicate and really coordinate this with one another. Otherwise, really, we'll just waste energy, and we have a lot of things to do, and there's little time left.
Absolutely, Kevin.
It's important we convey this message. Otherwise, people are going to say, "Oh, you know what? I'm still going to do my way," you know, because Frank Sinatra says that. But no, we cannot do it each one. I cannot just, you know, waste energy, do things, because this is why I'm waiting. There's a structure, and then I would like, you know, to bring myself into all the visions and things that I wanted to manifest, you know, with youth exchange, learn exchange for students, for kids, for you know, older students, whatever. So we need, or the translations, you know, beginning with the because the language is the super barrier. This is why, you know, a lot of people don't speak English. This is so crucial and important that we are actually been doing this. So, I mean, thanks to you and the German team, you know, and the German knowledge seekers. I mean, everybody is like doing like crazy from every country, and we're really gaining momentum this way. But a little bit more efficiency, a little bit more coordination, you know. I think we need to emphasize this before we, you know, go on with this, you know, with your important explanations, you know.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is, you really catch the idea, and I just want to show you what it can be looking for. For example, we have two playlists. We have the kids workshop, for example, and if we take, for example, the first one, here I just want to make a little bit bigger. I can put full screen, will be better. And here in the different parameters, the people just come here and they have the different subtitles. So they can have in English, in French,
wow,
in Polish, Romanian.
What is Turkish? Is that right? Turkish?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Exact.
Wow.
And
amazing.
Here you have the, for example, the second, we have the same.
Mm-hmm.
And we go again and again and again. But to get to this point with the experience and the work of different people and the subtitling, we understand now the barriers and where we can win a lot of time, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because making a transcription for the writing, for the reading, it's not the same as the subtitling of the videos.
Right.
So I give you an example how we work. So if we take, for example, we go here and we will take the last workshop. Here, you see there is no video.
Right.
Right? So now the people perhaps will make some transcription and write on the right seconds and write the message of the video. But for this message, we need to get some agreement on how to do these files, because if we don't do these files on the right way for the subtitle, after it will be big problems. Okay?
Yeah.
And I just want to show you an example so you have a good idea on how it looks. I just share my screen to open a file so you will understand. Here. You know, for example, here I received the 125 Knowledge Seeker workshop. It's a beautiful work from Ivan. For the reading, it's a perfect file. But the problem, if I show you what will happen when I import this file.
Right.
For example, I import here, it's not a problem. I import in English.
Yeah.
Here. It's the 125. You look, we have some things that we don't need this, we don't need this, and then this is big sentences.
Yeah.
And you can look how it will look on the subtitling. You look here.
Yeah.
The sentences are really too big.
Yeah, and all over the screen. I mean.
Exactly. So we need to find another way. So I will show you when we change the files and we make some transformation to get the you know, here we just have some sentences and we have a really better file, you know. Now we can work with this file. And this is something really easy to do for the people. If I show you in that way, can you see, or it's too small?
Yeah, it's too small.
Yeah. So after I can make a little video to explain to the people more in depth, but they will understand. The thing is, you have a file, normal file, and then you need to cut, simply cut every time it's a point. You need to cut the file like this. And every time you make something like this, the program on Amara will already make the change, you know, and make 2 lines.
Yeah.
And so you will have a perfect files. But if we receive the file in the normal text way, we need to take the files back and make every time the same operation.
Exactly, and that's a lot of work.
Yeah. But if the people who type the text and every time it's a point, they go back, they make a back, a back line like this.
Yeah.
It don't take time for the people who do this.
Exactly. It's just a push of a button. That's it.
Yeah. But if we don't make in the right way, after it takes so many times for us to do the work.
And we could save so much time and do some totally, other additional things. I mean, this is how. Yeah, we need to coordinate and and find one, one common collective solution to this. Otherwise,
absolutely,
we're going to lose a lot of time, a lot of efficiency, and so much to do.
Yeah.
Beginning with the translations, and there's so much more to do. I mean, after that.
Exactly, and I want to show you why it's so important to get the file in English right away, because when we have the file in English, for example, I exit this, and I want to take one, for example, that I can show you. We are working on the 125. So I just want to take the 125. Knowledge Seeker Workshop, they take the 125. They take the Amara video.
Yeah.
So, you take the French, change the subtitles, and the timing. You see the timing in English here?
Yeah.
It's already done for the French.
Yeah.
But if we don't have the right timing and the right phrases, and then we change every time the English version, it's a big problem for all the other version and translation.
Exactly, yes.
Because when the timing is ready, it's ready for all other languages, and the people just translate in the languages, and they don't have to make the timing because it's already done in English.
Exactly, yes. Yeah. Yeah, and to make it really much more tight, this kind of organized, collective working together, because, yeah, it just facilitates everything, in every other language also.
Yeah. And for example, we know that the 126, it's 3 or 4 people who are interested to do in English, for example. They said, okay, I take the first hour, you take the second hour, and the third one take the third hour. And for example, it's more people who want to work on it, and they said, okay, so me, I take the 125 the first hour, and then they bring a nice file on the right format, and we just import into Amara, and we make the timing,
Yeah. What do you think? I mean, what I'm going to do when we finish with this, well, let's just say, explanatory video, it's for understanding. I would, let's send this. I'm going to send this file, this video file, to Ingrid, Rainer, all these people, everybody, whatever, Richard, especially Richard. What's his last name? Richard
Gans.
Yeah. And so these are also people, who are working, I believe so, right? I assume so, for translation partially, right?
Yep.
So that's important that they have it in advance, and then we can talk about it again or go through it in the private. I think it's better in the private teaching, right? Not in the public teaching like tomorrow or so.
No, I think after, it's better in the private.
I'll send it to them in advance. They look at it, they understand it, and then we will come together and find out. And then it would be good if you also joined. If you have time. So you can comment on some of the stuff, or I can comment with you. What was the whole? What's the whole objective of this whole? I mean, it's really important that we tackle this and we resolve this issue right now, right here, because otherwise, you know, people are just going to do their own stuff, and then it's too late, you know, then the work has already been wasted.
Absolutely.
It's not wasted, but it's like totally disorganized and not homogeneous, you know. And then people, we want to convey the message to like 8 billion people, I guess. So let's do this in the most efficient and fast and clean and really empathic and truly collective way, you know.
Yeah. I just want to show you a last thing before, because the people can well understand. For example, if I take one of the kids' workshop, who is already well done on the subtitling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've done a great job.
So, because
they rattle, because they can join the field.
And you can just take a look on the timing.
Welcome everyone to the first Kids Knowledge Seekers Workshop presented by the Keshe Foundation and Spaceship Institute. My name is Rick Crammond, and I will co-host this weekly series with Kevin Devaney. And Kevin is organizing the kids' workshops, and he will make a short introduction here. Then we will hear from Mr. Keshe, who will explain the workings of the universe in a way that the child in all of us can understand. Mr. Keshe will then answer questions from...
You see, this is why I said the people who are making the transcription need to cut the phrase at every point. There is a point.
Exactly, yes.
Because you can't have, I tried so many different ways to do the work, but you know, we need to give a gift for humanity, and this workshop will stay for life, and we need to make a perfect work.
Yes.
So we need to take one phrase and find the right way to cut the phrase. Because sometimes you see it's some breaks. So we can cut at that breaks, and sometimes it's no breaks. So we need to keep the phrase in
that
all.
specific moment that it is really articulated and you know, and conveyed to, right?
Yeah, right.
And in those moments, because when you listen to it live, you know, you have the voice, the emotion, the total context. But if you're like reading it, it like totally can mess you up. You know, it loses the totality of the message. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. And I see there is no solution to make some automatic cutting at 35 or 40 or 45 characters, because we need to check again the text, and we need to adjust the timing and cut in the right sequences. Yeah. So if we just have the phrases and after each point a break, 2 breaks, so when we import the files, we have every sentences in the right sequence, and then we adjust the timing, because we need to make, it's a lot of work, but it's a gift for humanity, you know.
Yeah.
And we need to make a perfect work to give. This is our gift.
Yeah. So the instruction, let's say the message to understand is to, when you import these videos, so I understand it, you know, for myself, is to have those breaks deliberately, you know, so we can really pinpoint the sentences, the whatever, the messages, the whole context, the whole content, right into that specific moment when it is said, and then really rest upon it in the emotional part of the brain so it is understood, and then we go to the next message, right? So there needs to be some kind of, you know, deliberate interruptions or pauses or moments of silence, sort of, before we go to the next message, because otherwise, you know, this way it's actually much stronger than we listen live to it even, because it's much more consciously listened to, because there's a lot of stuff, you know, when we listen to it live, it's like bombarded by like a zillion of of things, and, you know, so this is why we need to listen to these workshops, especially kids workshops, over and over again, because it's really from the beginning to the end, everything is already packed into it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I will give you just 2 tips that the people have not totally understand, but you know, for myself, it's the 5 or 6 times or 10 times I watch the kids workshop, and look how now I make with the kids workshop. I have the subtitles, and now I adjust the speed of the video.
Yeah.
And look with the subtitles.
Welcome, everyone, to the first Kids Knowledge Seekers Workshop, presented by the Cash Foundation and Spaceship Institute. I will co-host this weekly series with Kevin Devani, and Kevin is organizing the kids' workshops, and he will make a short introduction here. Then we'll hear from Cash, who will explain the working of the universe.
This is funny, I'm sorry about this.
But you know, with the text, I have no problem to follow.
Yeah, me neither. But you know, it's going to be fun, because I think even Rick would. Did he ever listen to this in the speed like that? It's so funny. He's like a radio host, like on, I don't know, something. You know. I'm sorry. Anyway.
Yeah.
But it's fun. Yeah. I have no problem with that too. You know, it just needs to be homogeneous. You know, I mean, if we read it, I mean, we can read fast. It's not like you're reading a scientific book. It's you know, it's pictures, it's images, it's content, it's a background, it's the experiments you're showing, it's the voice of Mr. Kesh and Rick, and you know, and once in a while I say something, you know, but or ask something. But it's important, you know, that people can follow and understand. They don't need to learn by heart or something, or study something. They just see it, they connect with it, and they understand it in that very moment what is meant with it. Because reading, listening, seeing, you know, following, it's all like multitasking, communication, and understanding. And I think this is good. This is the way it should be.
Yeah, absolutely. And the last point I want to emphasize, it's when we have done with the translation. For example, if I take one, I take the first. The people here have the files, the text file in every format they want.
Mm-hmm.
For example, in the text files,
yeah,
so they can upload the file.
Yeah.
And after, they can make what they want with the files, with the text files, you know?
Yeah.
We can have in another format, and we can have the timing of the videos. So we can put in a database. And for example, we are looking for plasma.
Yeah.
And it will search every time that the word plasma come, and the right timing of the videos when the words are said. And we can cut after in every sequences where we want Mr. Kesh speaking regarding the plasma.
Mm-hmm.
But for this, we need the exact timing of every video. And this is why it's so important to have the subtitling of the video. Because at that point, we have the timing of everything Mr. Kesh is speaking.
Exactly, yes.
So the only way we try to get is to don't lose any information, because when this video, these files are ready, we pilot all this on this Keshe Foundation translation. Mm-hmm. And when the files are ready, check in YouTube, we just send these files to the Keshe Foundation. Mm-hmm. And they are put in the Keshe Foundation official channel. And there is only 2 channels official where the people can find. They can find at this point where the files are not finished, or we are still finish it, you know, and checking. or people who want before the final translation they can look at. And when the work is finished, they go on the Keshe Foundation, they choose their own languages, and that's it.
Yeah. And I think, Mr. Kesh would, I mean, I believe, he would approve of this kind of procedure, because it's, in a way it sounds boring, but it is finally structurized, standardized, homogeneous. There's an official channel, it's vetted, it's cleared, there's a clearance sort of process to it. So, nothing, becomes ineffective, because we want this message to be effective, and in order to be effective, it needs to be, communicated in a really crystal clear, transparent, homogeneous, followable way, so people can and do understand this. Then, this is really crucial now, that we do this, that we communicate this right away.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. And now I think it's the right time. I don't want to go before that point on huge public channel, because we need to gain understanding on the subtitlings. If it's Amara works, what are the problem? What's the best timing? How we need to fix the bug?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now we have a clear idea. We need the phrases. The best way, if the people at the beginning work on the Amara file, this is the best for the new video,
Yeah.
For the last one, or for the collaboration, we can work on the text file, but the text file in the right format.
Yeah.
And then we will win so much energy, and don't was to do two. So I found some video with 5 different subtitling and transcription of the same video,
Yeah, this is exactly what we don't want, totally different, approaches, and we need to really agree, what's the best way to otherwise people are going to get lost, and then they're going to be insecure which version is now somehow the best to watch, and to
yeah, but this is not, but the biggest problem, it's 5 person doing the same work.
Yeah, it's totally a waste of energy. Really, we can do this much more efficient. Seriously, this is why it's important that we somehow communicate this message and talk to one another. Otherwise, it's going to be wasted a lot of energy and efficiency during this process.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And we have not so much time, and we have so much things to do. So if we are a little bit more efficient, it will be perfect for everybody.
Yeah. Is there anything else you wanted to say, Jacky?
No,
I think that's the most important part of it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, for now it's good. Anything else? I forgot. No, not really. I was going to say something, but anyway, no. Let's just leave it at that. And still, we can go through this in a private teaching or whatever, in a private Zoom meeting, maybe, with the German knowledge seekers, and the team that's working on it. And maybe you can just join us spontaneously, whatever, and we'll plan this beforehand, and let's go through this, and then we'll have a clear understanding finally. That's important,
Absolutely.
because I think
because we have a nice team in France for approximately 10 people that can invited. It's a beautiful team in Polish and in Turkish who are doing really great works,
Yeah.
And if we come together and share the experience and the knowledge, it can be wonderful.
So what do you want to do, Jacky? Either we're going to set up like a translation Zoom meeting, or a talk with or you want to do this separately, like with the German people, or
No, I think it's good to make a community things,
Yeah, we can, stop the video at any time, and you can comment in, and then like Pavel translates into Polish, I can, or whatever, whoever, Ingrid or Raina, we can translate this into, you know, into German or whatever needs to be done, because, you know, a lot of people still don't, you know, cannot follow whatever on English, you know, or French.
Yeah, but for the moment, I think, you know, with everybody we are working on translation,
Mhm.
can follow the meeting in English, you know,
Yeah.
because
So, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
and this is every time Mr. Kesh emphasizes this, he don't want to make separation, you know, the German community, the French community, and all the Polish community.
Mhm.
We need to be the translation community who make the bridge with every languages, you know.
Exactly. We are the transition. The translation is actually one of the most important, because if there's no, if the language barrier is not overcome, can you imagine? I mean, it would just take so much longer till, you know, like people somewhere pick it up and do then their own thing. This way, you know, we centralize, we really work collectively with one another, and then bring this out after it's vetted and monitored, and quality management. It needs to be done everywhere, actually, quality management, and somehow some kind of supervision and coordination, and just, you know, a homogeneous solution to this, you know. This is why a lot of things can be accelerated and speeded up, you know, if we just structurize it in a way that people network, communicate, and really implement this together, you know.
Absolutely.
This is why this is the advantage of centralization. Decentralization, you know, is not always good. You know, it can always be abused, you know, like in currencies or whatever, you know, like in cryptocurrencies, whatever. There's, you know, if you decentralize sometimes things, you know, it's prone to abuse. They abuse it, you know, for criminal activities and this and that, you know, we know all the stories behind it. So, but it doesn't, I'm sorry, it just doesn't affect this whole issue now, but it's important we really bundle our energies together. This is, for me, centralization, bundling and really collective fusion or amalgamation of energy fields. Otherwise, we'll really just, we don't connect, and we just split apart, you know. And this is exactly the opposite of the whole ethos, actually, you know.
Exactly. And because it's just a small coordination, you know, for example, I give you an example, the 126 Knowledge Seekers workshop, we have already done 30 minutes on the right synchronization and timing in English. And if the people in the other languages know that, they know they can start with the first 30 minutes of the 126 Knowledge Seeker workshop, you know?
Yes.
But they need to know that, and we need to coordinate that.
Yeah. You know, Jackie, I was thinking, unfortunately, there's no, I mean, there are high-tech, sophisticated software, but the problem, as we found out, is also sometimes, it doesn't matter whether Mr. Kesh or somebody else doesn't speak articulately enough. And I mean, I think when the way I talk or you talk, you know, because we talk very articulate and very clear, or let's just say, I believe, you know, we try to, and then I think the software, or this, you know, there are softwares who can really pick up on that and really pinpoint that. We don't, you know, we don't need any time markings, you know, it just does the work for you. But that would have also to be somehow, maybe we'll talk also together with Mr. Kesh, talked about and coordinated, because this could facilitate and speed it up a lot of work. I mean, just imagine you have a workshop running, and it's like, you know, in different languages. It's just, but I'm not sure whether there, you know, there is a software already doing this kind of stuff in different languages, you know, translate, transcripting, you know, transcribing.
Yeah. Absolutely. But, you know, my point of view, it's the people who really get involved in this kind of things, they will win so much, you know.
Yes.
Because when you make it and you try to understand Mr. Kesh, and you try to see the flow and to understand at which point you can cut the phrase and make the perfect subtitling, you put your own soul and your own emotion into it.
True. Truly. Yeah. Totally. Yeah. Yeah.
And the technology become part of yourself, because you start becoming the technology, you know, because you put everything of you, all your best love and all the peace for humanity into it.
Yeah,
And
that's what Mr. Kish always said from beginning. You know, once you understand it and not learn it or study it, once you understand it from within your emotions and soul or whatever, it becomes integral part of your, you know, being, your soul, your RNA, whatever, your understanding. You know.
Yep. And I think no software will do this one time. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps. But I'm sure if we are really well organized, it can be really fast. But it's so much work. We need a really nice collaboration, and connect the different plasma, you know.
Exactly. Just imagine, Jackie, we didn't have like a few people now. Like in 1 year, 2 years, we would have like hundreds, thousands, millions of people that would really, in accordance with the ethos and the structure, you know, the efficiency that we, you know, are partially now talking about, would do that, you know, would all help us. I mean, can you imagine that it would just be instantaneous, actually, more or less, the whole world? This is what we need to convey to the whole humanity. Just, you know, the more unconditionally we co-create and we create and we work together and we teach and we give and we give, you know, and we do things together, really, truly, literally do this collectively, then there is no obstacle, there is no barrier, there is no blockage. There is just you know, infinitely by order of magnitude faster and deeper in understanding and more intense and true, you know, in true understanding. This is what we need.
Yeah. And every time Mr. Cash speak about that, it's the intention, you know. That's right, it's a lot of work, but if we put the right intention, the work will be done, you know, but we need to put the right intention into it.
Yeah. And if everyone has, you know, the true essence of his or her own intention, then it becomes, you know, I'm sorry, I forgot what I was going to say. I'm sorry. It doesn't matter, but it was important anyway. You know, it then becomes part of our, you know, own thing. You know, then we truly are on an evolutionary path.
Absolutely. And it's the gift we need to do to humanity, because the first point, it's having the technology. But if the people doesn't speak English for the moment, they can't have the technology. So this is why it's so important to get that done, you know?
Yeah, because we don't want to deliver, as Mr. Cash said over and over again, we don't want to deliver or spoon-feed a magic show, but we want to, you know, really teach them what they can do within themselves and by themselves and through themselves, you know, learn it, understand it, whatever it needs to be done, even some kind of trial and errors, such as in my case with my experiments. But in the end of the day, you know, you make this is why there's no right or wrong. There's no false and wrong, because when you do your own GANs with your own intentions and emotional fields and magnetical fields according to the unified field theory, because there is, you know, you interact from the very beginning, beyond even your imagination before you started it, already the essence of your intention is already within the process of doing something, you know?
Absolutely.
I'm sorry, I don't want to philosophize here, but
no, it's right.
This needs to be said, because people, you know, they still, I think, a lot of people, you know, especially the people outside, let's say our community now, our cash funded, what a family, they don't understand it, and this is why they underestimate, or they don't even know about the true essence of their own you know, creative power and potential and manifestation.
Yeah.
And I think we are going slowly and gradually this way, but even myself, I've had to learn this all those years, and there's always, you know, obstacles or moments when you freeze, and then you become conscious of it again, and then you remember again, because it has already become, through time, through maturity, become part of your RNA, which is your information carrier, which again, manifests itself into everything else. But before that is, of course, the soul, the essence of your soul, which transcends through your emotions, through your RNA, whatever, DNA, physicality. And if we slowly, teach humanity this totality, the structure of the totality, the structure and order of creation this way, and that begins with these kind of, let's say, structural matrix matter issues that we're talking about. People still need to watch, to see, to repeat, to let it settle in their emotional part of the brain, in their whole essence, so that it can mature. People need time, and I think the more efficient we do this, the less time they will take to mature.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think this is where we want to go. We want to really speed this up.
Exactly.
And Caroline, even says that, this is the reason why we tell you, blah, blah, that we don't have much time left, because everything is speeding up right now, geophysically, geologically, galactically, universally, the atmosphere, the cooling barrier, the earth, the tectonic plate moving. It's like totally crazy right now what's happening, and it's being confirmed by even now, mainstream institutions. You cannot deny it anymore. You cannot rationalize it. You cannot have cognitive dissonance about it. You cannot have ignorance or denial or arrogance about this anymore, because it's full force in your face.
Yep.
I'm sorry to talk so much, but
it's important
to be said, because otherwise we'll lose sight of the totality of this whole message and the manifestation eventually, and then of everything you desire, you intend, you wish within the essence, the balance of your soul.
Yeah, exactly. And the most important thing is to give to every people on this planet chance to reach the free plasma.
Not only humans, Jacky, as always, I know you're going to say that anyway, but any creation within and beyond this mother planet Earth, we talk about all creations, plant, animals. I mean, can you imagine we can create peace with those fields that, even animals don't eat one another, it's just harmonious, balanced, peace. It's like, I think it's something we cannot even fathom, imagine.
Yeah.
Most of us, let's say.
Absolutely.
All right.
Okay,
we'll close the chapter. I'm going to send you then this file, Jacky, and if you want, I can send it to the groups or individually to we send it to some individuals or in groups or whatever, and then we can go through this in a private Zoom talk or whatever, or private teaching, and then go over these points. What do you say?
Yeah, absolutely. We need to make an appointment and to go a step further. We are ready to move.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ivan.
Thank you, Jacky, for everything you've been doing. You've really been committing and serving. I mean, with all your, it's amazing. I mean, how long and how intense you've been with us and with everybody, with everything you've been doing. It's amazing, really, what you've been doing. It's real. Sometimes I'm asking myself where you get the energy from, but but I know from where. Anyway, Jacky John, so talk to you soon then.
Yeah, thank you so much, Kevin. Bye-bye. Thanks.
Bye-bye. Ciao, ciao. So, Jacky, can you go back to what you were going to say? Today is Wednesday, August 3rd, 2016. It's 10:07 p.m. Just for the record, Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Kevin. Yeah, what I said, it's we are building this Keshe Foundation translation. It will be a bridge between the translator and the people who want really fast translation, and the final product on the Keshe Foundation official YouTube channel. And why we try to put this in one place, it's because we have seen and we understand that it's a lot of people doing the same work on the translation. And we try to don't lose energy with people making the same thing in different places, or to coordinate the best format that we don't lose our energy in doing things that we can do one time at the best way, you know?
Because we can do things more efficiently, especially, and more focused and more stronger in a way, because we don't, you know, waste energy on one thing with different methods and you know, it takes a lot of energy. You know, you have to take the time, the space. You got to think. You got to, you know, coordinate. So let's, in this way, because this is the advantage of sort of a centralized communication. We communicate. We have to network and communicate and really coordinate this with one another. Otherwise, really, we'll just waste energy, and we have a lot of things to do, and there's little time left.
Absolutely, Kevin.
It's important we convey this message. Otherwise, people are going to say, "Oh, you know what? I'm still going to do my way," you know, because Frank Sinatra says that. But no, we cannot do it each.
Show you what it can be looking for. For example, we have two playlists. We have the kids workshop, for example, and if we take, for example, the first one. Here, I just want to make a little bit bigger. I can put full screen, will be better. And here, in the different parameters, the people just come here and they have the different subtitles. So they can have in English, in French,
wow,
in Polish, Romanian.
What is Turkish? Is that right? Turkish?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Exact.
Wow.
And
amazing.
Here you have the, for example, the second, we have the same.
Mm-hmm.
And we go again and again and again. But to get to this point with the experience and the work of different people and the subtitling, we understand now the barriers and where we can win a lot of time, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because making a transcription for the writing, for the reading, it's not the same as the subtitling of the videos.
Right.
So I give you an example how we work. So if we take, for example, we go here and we will take the last workshop. Here, you see there is no video.
Right.
Right? So now the people perhaps will make some
well, I cannot just, you know, waste energy, do things, because this is why I'm waiting. There's a structure, and then I would like, you know, to bring myself into all the visions and things that I wanted to manifest, you know, with youth exchange, learn exchange for students, for kids, for you know, older students, whatever. So we need, or the translations, you know, beginning with the because the language is the super barrier. This is why, you know, a lot of people don't speak English. This is so crucial and important that we're actually been doing this. So, I mean, thanks to you and the German team, you know, and the German knowledge seekers. I mean, everybody is like doing like crazy from every country, and we're really gaining momentum this way. But a little bit more efficiency, a little bit more coordination, you know. I think we need to emphasize this before we, you know, go on with this, you know, with your important explanations, you know.
Absolutely. This is, you really catch the idea, and I just want to